In this video, we are continuing working problem 14-23 from page 676 of your book. It's your chapter 14 homework problem from Connect. It's from week 7. It's the 4th homework problem. So I'm going to share my screen so you can look at Connect with me, and let's get that going. All right, we're sharing. Okay, here we go. So we're still on the same problem. We've got these choices between product A and product B. They have a different investment amount. They have different cash flows. And we already calculated the payback in our first video. Now we're going to calculate net present value for each product. So with net present value, now we are taking into consideration the time value of money. So that means we're going to have to use our present value tables. And in Connect, they have them linked here. They're exhibit 14B1 and 14B2. So B1 is present value of $1. See up here how it says present value of $1 at the top? So that's present value of $1. And if we click on B2, see how this is of an annuity? So if you have a cash flow over a period of time, that's an annuity. So I think that's what we got going on here. We're getting a certain amount every year for several years. So that's an annuity. All right, so those are we're going to need at least one of those tables to do this because we're calculating some net present value. All right, so we got two things to calculate for, right? We've got our product A and our product B, and in our last problem, we calculated the net cash flow every year, right? So we know for product A it's 60,000 and for product B it's 130,000. So we need those numbers from the payback period calculation. So just so you know where they're coming from. When we did payback period, we calculated the net cash flow each year. And now we're going to use that net cash flow to help us determine the net present value. All right, so let's start calculating. So we got a product A and we got a product B, right? And so, well, I've already plugged those numbers in. And so we're going to do these calculations for both of these guys and figure that out. All right, so what we've got going on here is a column for present day, right? Since we're calculating present value of $1, we got a column for now, for present day, right? So like the investment we have to make, that's current. And in years 1 through 5, we're going to have cash flow, right? So we'll calculate those, and then we'll look up our net present value factor, right? Our discount factor. And in the problem, they tell us the company's discount rate is 16%. So that's, we need to know the discount rate so we can look up the right number on the table. So we got that. Okay, so when we purchase the piece of equipment, we know that that's a cash flow out, right, of 170,000 for the equipment and nothing else. And for B, that equipment costs, so this, I better put brackets around this so we remember this is cash flowing out, right? And for product B, our cash flowing out is 380. All right, 380. Now, out here in years 1 through 5, we've got cash flowing in and cash flowing out, which makes a net cash flow, right? So, as you may recall, we had for product A, I'm just taking these same numbers, 250 and 350, all these same expenses, except for obviously not depreciation, right? So cash flowing in of 250, and here cash flowing in of 350. Then we have expenses, right? And so for product A, the variable expenses were 120. So that's some cash flowing out. And for product B, it flowed out at the rate of 170. Right, so I'm just picking up the same numbers from over here, right? We're going to skip depreciation expense, of course, because that's not cash flow, not cash at all. And now, of course, picking up our last operating expenses. So the out of pocket are sending out 70,000 in years 1 through 5 for A, and sending outflow of 50,000 for years 1 through 5 for product B. All right, so total cash flows then, and we've already calculated that. But as you know, what we're going to get for product A is we're going to get $60,000 per year, and for product B, we're going to get 130,000. Right. So we've got our cash flows now, which is out of 170 for A and out of 380 for B. And so we've got our total cash flows both ways, and now we need our discount, right? So at 16%, we got to look those up. Well, for anything that happens today, right, the discount is $170,000 today is worth $170,000 today. So this, I'm sorry, we didn't put the total cash flows for that. 170, right? We have the total cash flows here, but I should have put them here too. All right. All right. So, and again, discount factor today, right, is 1. There's no discount factor. I mean, it's like the present value of a dollar today is $1, right? I mean, we have it today. But these years 1 through 5 that we don't get till the end of the year for year 1 and the end of the year for year 2, right? So these are annuity, because this is a cash flow every year of 60 and every year of 130. So we need the table that's for the present value of an annuity, right? And so that's this 14B2. And we need column 16, right? We need the 16% column, and we need the 5 years. So it's 3.274. Right, so 3.274, 16%, and 5 years is 3.274. So I'm going to bring that back over here. And so, of course, they're both 5 years, so that's the same discount for either one. 3.274 and 3.274. All right, so to find my present value, I multiply my discount table number times my cash flow, right? So for right now, 170 times 1 is a present value out of 170, right? Because 170 times 1, or 170 today, is 170. Now, the present value of 60,000 times 3.24, 3.274, sorry, is 60 times 3.274 is a cash flow in of 196 440, 196, 440. All right, so the net present value is 196, 440 minus 170, or 196, or negative 170 plus 196, 440, however you want to look at that. But it's a positive cash flow of 26,440. All right, so that's our first answer, right? That's the net present value for product A, 26,440. All right, so let's do product B. So 380 times 1, or what's the value today of 380,000 that I'm paying out today? It's minus 380. All right, what's the present value of 130,000 times 3.274? Well, that's a positive cash flow of 425, 620. So 130,000 times 3.274 is 425, 6,000. But what's the net present value? Well, 425,620 minus 380,000, or negative 380,000 plus 425,000, same thing, equals 45,620. So there's our answers, right? So over here in product A, I'm going to put 26,440. Oh, it doesn't like me to do that. 26,440. Yeah, I'm like on. Oh, I got to close that guy. Okay. 26,440. 6,440. And for product B, it was 45,620. All right, so remember on our payback period, product A paid it back slightly faster, but that's only how fast they pay it back. It didn't consider it beyond that. So if you keep considering for the whole 5-year period, well, the net present value for product B is a lot more than product A. So that's how you do net present value, and why it's a more important metric probably than payback period. It's not that often that you're interested in payback period, to be honest with you. Okay, so for the next one, next video, we'll do IRR. See you then.